We're glad you're here. Let me welcome you to this CART conversation. You'll hear a little bit about that title in a few minutes when Tiffany gets the chance. We make these available for you. It's not for us, it's for you. And so, as I've said before, if you want us to discuss particular topics, let us know, and we'll put them in the next month's agenda. This is a monthly forum to provide information to you that will help you go out and help your clubs understand what CART Fund does, and help your clubs understand why it's important that we support research for Alzheimer's. I'm sure all of you are getting back into the routine now that January has begun. Just recognize that this is a new calendar year, but it is not a new year for CART. We're still working on the year that started July 1st, and we still need your help. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. And so now we'll turn it over to Tiffany and let her talk to you a little bit about events.
Great. Thank you, Rod. So we do have several dates already on the calendar that I want to share with you guys, but there will be many more that are forthcoming. As Rod mentioned, we are renaming this monthly meeting CART Conversations. And we think that this is a way that we can just really continue to communicate that we are open to conversations. This is not one of us teaching you how to do something or telling you how to do something or what you must do. These are truly two-way conversations, but we're bringing in guest speakers every month as well, so that you guys can continue to get new ideas and continue to stay on top of things. So we're going to be working on an image that will promote that. We hope that if you have other people in your clubs or in your districts that would like to participate in this monthly meeting, that you will either share the information with them, or feel free to send me their name and email address, and I can add them to a new committee that we have created in DACTB. For example, John Whitwell, who is here with us tonight as a guest speaker, is a longtime supporter of CART, and I've added him as a person of interest, if you will, to get this monthly notice about this email. There are several others out there as well, and so I make sure that they always get that email every month to remind them of this meeting. If you have someone that would like to attend, let me know. Speaking of this meeting, the next few dates, I wanted to make sure you have them on your calendar. Next month and March will be on the next month will be the first Tuesday of the month. That is Tuesday, February the 7th. And then in March and April, both months, we will meet on the second Tuesday evening of the month. And that is March 14th and April the 11th. So all of those dates are entered into the DACTB calendar, which means you can go ahead and go on and register for them if you would like. Don't forget that if you're in DACTB looking at calendar, please select multi-district events at the top of the page, and you will always see all of the CART activities. There will be no monthly meeting during the month of May, because that is the month that we host our annual meeting. And that will be on May 1 and 2. And after our executive committee meeting next week is completed, we will announce all of the details of that. So if you'll hold tight on that, we'll have that to share with you after next week. As you know, we asked for RFPs from districts to see if anyone is interested in co-hosting or hosting it for this coming year. And we did not get very much interest there. So I appreciate you guys asking us to move it, but it may not move because we really didn't have anyone that it would work out. So we're working on 3 different locations that are easiest for those of us who are doing the work to work on it, and we're comparing data and pricing, and we will have an announcement for you again within a week or so. And then the other dates that I usually share with you right now are for lunch a la carte. And we were discussing this right before we started our meeting, that there are lots of researchers who have agreed to do it. Nailing down dates for them is a little bit of a challenge. And there was no one that was available during the month of December or January. So I hope that within the next week, I will have new dates to share with you for moving forward, February through the end of this Rotary year. So those are the dates that you need to have on your calendar for the CART Conversations meeting and the annual meeting. Also, we have all of the dates for the upcoming pets in our zone, and also in our neighboring zone 30 over there for you guys. And we have worked out volunteers for all of those. Those of you who have agreed to or offered to or signed up for those events in your areas or in other areas, some of you who are willing to travel, there will be an email going out to all of you within the next week or so as well. We are going to be hosting an online training session for how we want to project and present at our booths and exhibits and displays. Anyone is interested in attending that training session, if you would like as well. That's going to be on February the 21st, which is also a Tuesday night from 5:30 to 6:30. And we'll put more information out about that. But one of the things we're really working on moving forward is our branding and our imaging and making sure that we always have consistent key messages. And so we're going to provide all of that information for you. And if you have volunteered to have a booth at either your district conference or your pets training, then we will actually be sending you a little table in a box, I guess. We're going to put together a packet for you with all the information that you need, and we'll be sharing that with you. So hang tight and look for more information on that.
Just to tag on to what Tiffany just said, if you have looked at your calendar and you did not volunteer to cover a pets for us and would like to join us at a booth at your pets or at another pets, please let Tiffany know and we can add you to the opportunity. It's a great learning experience and a good opportunity to meet new people. From a financial standpoint, we're in fairly good shape. We have currently in the bank ready to give to grant recipients $664,000, which is $11,000 more than we had this time last year. So we're in great shape in terms of better than last year. We're in pretty bad shape in terms of what I had hoped we would have by now this year. But irregardless, we have 2 months left to get money to give away in May. We look at all the grant recommendations from our scientific review panel the first week of March. And we decide how many of those we can give away based on the money in the bank. And so literally we have 2 months to raise more money in order to give away more than the $664,000 we currently have in the bank. And so if you have a club that hasn't yet given their check, encourage them to do so. If you know of individuals that have an interest and have not yet written a check for us, encourage them to do so as well. We're going to give away money. And we want to have it in the bank in order to do that. We don't give away any money we don't have in hand. And so right now, we're looking for you to encourage other folks to add to that amount of money for us to give away at the annual meeting in May. From a track standpoint, we're in good shape. Our spending is about what we expected it to be, and we're solvent. And so that's wonderful. And we appreciate your support in that area as well. Any questions you might have along the financial line, you might throw those at me by email and I'll be glad to answer them. Tiffany?
So the next thing we want to talk about is our branding and imaging. And, we talk about this a little bit every month. So what I thought we would start doing is focusing on a few things at a time to make sure that we're truly getting a consistent message. As you may recall, several months ago, we rolled out our brand new logo. You can see it in the corner of some of the backdrops. Again, our Vice President of Public Image, Aaron Sines, created a couple of different backdrops for us. And so if you would like one of those for Zoom, please let me know. You can always look at our website to get the most up-to-date logo and all. But one of the things I wanted us to focus on tonight was district branding and imaging, because what's coming to my attention are some of the district websites or club websites that link to CART or describe CART, or we love the ones that put their CART district chairs on their website. But some of those have the old logo. Some of them are bad links that don't go to the current website because things have changed. So if each of you would do me a huge favor and take a few minutes to look at your district website and make sure that everything is correct. Make sure that the links are accurate and that they actually work. And if there's not a link there to the CART website, perhaps you can suggest that they add one. Typically, the person that you would reach out to are the district governor, but also either the district public image chair or the district webmaster, or perhaps the district communication officer, the DCO. Those are the three folks in most districts that manage the district's websites. So if you could do us a favor and look at your district and find out if all of the links are correct, if the logo is correct. If it's not, just send me an email and tell me who to send it to. I'm happy to email them the correct logo. I'm also finding that some clubs have incorrect logos, and folks are reaching out to me to say, hey, we've tried to get them to change it. Could you maybe come in as the CART police? And we don't want to be the CART police. You know, we're totally unfunded for that purpose. But we do want to reach out to everybody. So if you can do it, if you can work with your district public image chair to make sure it's correct, that would be a huge help to me. But if you need me to step in, I absolutely can, and I can share information such as the correct logo for them. The other issue is district newsletters. I actually had a phone call this week from a sitting district governor who said, oh my gosh, my district CART chair just told me the bad news. And I said, what bad news is that? And they said that Rotary International doesn't want anything to do with us ever again with CART, and they're making you change your logo. So let me just reiterate one more time that that's really not what's going on. We are not a Rotary International partner, so therefore we should not be using the cog and Rotary as part of our logo. That's why we've designed our own logo. But you can continue to use the CART logo as a lockup with your club or district logo if it is a district or club project. But knowing that, it occurred to me that perhaps we should provide some additional articles that the districts can put into their district newsletters, or a story that they can share on their district website. So I'm going to be working on that in the next week or so, creating a generic article that can then be shared. The problem is I don't have permission to share it to a district. So I'm going to need you to, have those conversations with your district public image chair and your district newsletter chair. Is it okay for you to submit articles to them, or can they ask me? Can I email them directly to them? That kind of thing. Ideally, we would like for you as the district chair to prepare a monthly article for that district newsletter. That should become kind of one of the routine things that you do in your communications. But if you need help finding articles or things that you can share, I've always got things I can share with you. I know a lot of you folks are already doing this, so I'm not trying to point fingers or preach, but it's something that if we could make that a best practice moving forward, I think that would be a really big help so that people have that same information. Also wanted to remind you that now is the time that district governors are working with their district conference chairs to get all of the speakers lined up for their district conferences. I'm scheduled to speak at several of them. I know several of you are already talking to your district governors about the possibility of including CART either in the House of Friendship or as a speaker. I'm happy to come if I can. Rod is happy to come. We can help you prepare a presentation. There are lots of other people out there that are good to speak and prepared and do a great job. But also remember that our researchers are happy to attend as well. And that is by far the most effective presenter that you can have at a district conference because it's a larger audience. So if you would like to have a conversation with your district governor or your district conference chair and ask them if they are willing to include a researcher as part of their program and their agenda, I would ask that you recommend and suggest to that district governor and conference chair that would be, you would pay the expenses of that researcher. They should not be asked to pay that out of pocket. And that's simply travel or hotel and meals. They don't have to be there the entire weekend. They can come in and speak and leave the next day or whatever. And I can help you find some researchers that are fairly close to you. We have a lot of them on the West Coast and in the Northeast. But there are some in Florida. There are 2 or 3 in Georgia. So depending on where you are, we can certainly help you find someone that would be fairly close and would be able to participate. But now is the time to get that on their schedule. The other thing I wanted to remind you of is that someone brought it to our attention that a club was not in the donor portal when they went in to make a donation. So let me remind everybody that if your district has chartered a new club, they will not automatically be in the donor portal. We have to get with Terry Weaver and Michelle and physically enter new clubs because we only run that compare, if you will, twice a year. And so until that is done, a brand new club would not show up. So if you can share that information with you, if your districts are sponsoring and chartering new clubs, then feel free to let us know that. We'll be happy to get them inputted. I'm going to ask Michelle. She does not know that I was going to ask her to do this, so I apologize. But we've had a discussion recently about the difference between if a satellite club wants to be entered versus a parent club. And quite honestly, Michelle, I don't remember what decision we made. Can you share that with everybody? Because I know it's a question that a lot of people have.
Okay, I guess it became a decision about the club, whether the parent club wanted theirs to be separate or they wanted it all together. If you want to have a satellite club, it also has to be a satellite club in DAC-DB to come through that way. But we can, like Silva has a satellite club and a regular club, and in the CART portal, they're both listed so that each club could get credit. When you make a donation, we can put it, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
So, it works either way, but I would just need to know what the club is and if they are a satellite and if the satellite wants it by themselves or if the parent club wants it to be there.
And one of the reasons the question came up is because every district does their awards differently. And so if your district governor wants to recognize satellite clubs as on their own for collecting funds for CART, then they have to be entered in there separately in the donor portal. If your district governor or the awards chair wants everyone to be combined and do it that way, then that's how they are automatically put into the donor portal. But if they are separate, as Michelle said, they do have to be separate in DAC-DB. Is that clear as mud? Does anybody have any questions about that before we move on? Thank you, Michelle.
Okay.
All right. Any questions about any of the stuff that I've gone over? Branding, imaging, website? Are you guys looking at the new website and finding it useful? I'm inputting all of the speakers and programs that you guys share with me. I had an executive committee member call me this morning and say, hey, I'm speaking at a Rotary Club today. Can you give me some statistics on blah, blah, blah? But I didn't know that, so it didn't end up on our website. But again, it's very helpful if we know that you're speaking, we can put it on the website. So if people do go to our website, they can find out if there are going to be programs near them. So it populates automatically from me entering it in DAC-DB. So if you will let me know, I'm happy to include that. Or if you're going to have a program with a speaker at your district conference, let me know that, and I can add that as well. Any questions about branding, imaging, presentations? Okay. All right, then at this time, we're moving on. I'm gonna introduce our guest speaker tonight. Every month, we try to spotlight a different fundraising idea of the month, and we've had some great ones. We always share the videos afterwards on our YouTube channel. And so this month, I'm very excited to introduce to you guys John Whitwell. John is a member of the Rotary Club of Augusta, Georgia, and several years ago, he started a new fundraiser for CART called Smash Alzheimer's, and I've asked him to join us tonight to give us some background on it, some present on it, and some future information on it, because it's a way that if for some of you are looking for unique ideas to increase giving in your district, this might be a good way to do it. So I'm happy to introduce John Whitwell tonight.
All right. Thanks, Tiffany. Good to see everybody. I'll give a little bit of background on myself and my ties to Alzheimer's, and then kind of where the idea came from. So back in, let's see, it was 2012, my father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and he spent the last 2 years of his life in a home and ended up passing away in 2018. Unfortunately. And then also at the time when I was married, my ex-wife's mother has also been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she's in a home now too, and has been for the last 3 years suffering from this disease. So it was about, I don't even remember the dates, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was sitting in one of our club meetings in Augusta, and it just, we contribute to the CART fund, the buckets every week, and I was just trying to think of different ways to raise awareness and raise the the funding for CART, or donations, I should say. And, it just occurred to me that we're maybe about 2 years out of the Ice Bucket Challenge. If everybody remembers that, that was a big thing on social media. A lot of people jumped on board, and it raised a ton of money for that cause. And I think, well, why can't we do something similar for Alzheimer's research through CART? And that's what I was trying to do. So it just, I guess maybe me being a former hockey player, I just wanted to smash things and things like that. So I came up with the idea of Smash Alzheimer's. We're going to try and beat this up and, try and raise money for CART. And that's what we did in our club in Augusta. I started, the first video that we did, I had both my kids take an old TV and we threw it off of the porch at the house. And then, it smashed on the bricks at the bottom. And then they took a sledgehammer and they were hitting it. And, so that was kind of the first one. The second video I did, I'm a golfer as well. So I went to the driving range at my golf club, and but funny story in this one, the unintended consequences, I got a exploding golf ball on Amazon, and, ordered a few of them. They came to the house, and I went to the driving range, and, my video, I was smashing a golf ball and it, exploded. And, when I did that video, there's my kids there. When I did that video, I wasn't even thinking of it, but apparently those golf balls were for gender reveal parties. And I started getting messages asking if I was having another kid. And it, again, just not even thinking about that. I was just looking for an exploding golf ball. So kind of funny side story to that. We came up with this logo for Smash Alzheimer's. So I've created the website. I pay for that each year for the services and all that. I figure that's kind of my contribution to CART in part of what I do each year. And we got a fair amount of traction at the beginning, but it was really hard to try and get it big. I don't know how the Ice Bucket Challenge did it, but they just caught lightning in a bottle, I guess. And I that was our hope as well. So, here's the website that we created. We have smashalzheimers.com. We have a smashalz.com, and they all go to the same site. And then through that, we've got the link to CART. So again, we're not touching any of the funds that come in. Every contribution goes directly to the CART website. And so that's just kind of our idea. We would love to have this explode and go viral. That was the dream. It still is the dream. So as Tiffany kind of made the introduction, that's the past. The present is what we've, I still have a Facebook page, the Smash Alzheimer's Facebook page. I know we've got several members of that, but I haven't done anything with that lately. I've kind of let it fizzle out, so to speak, but it's still there on the back burner. And I would love nothing more than to get this going. Again, we're just trying to promote Alzheimer's research. And one of the questions I had, and Rod, maybe you can answer this, or Tiffany, but to me, the biggest thing about Alzheimer's, aside from me being closely tied to the disease, is the fact that the 100% of the donations were going to research grants. And I'm hoping that's still the case, because I'm always trying to push that every time I talk to people about it. That's the biggest draw for me. And hopefully it is for other people that are looking to donate too, that, every dollar donated is going to a research grant. So I guess I'll just kind of leave it at that. And Tiffany, to jump onto what you were asking earlier, I'd be happy to go and talk to other clubs. I have spoken to other clubs in previous years in my district, and I'd be happy to do it again. I don't mind traveling or getting on Zoom meetings like this. again, anything I can do to help push it along is fantastic. One other thing I will add too, and this may be something for a future CART conversation, but every year on my birthday on Facebook, I do a fundraiser, and I use CART as my charity of choice. And I try and set $2,000 on that through friends contributing each year. Haven't quite hit that 2,000, but my birthday was last month, and I raised $525 just from different people in my network on Facebook, and it goes directly to CART. And then also one other idea that I've shared with my club. My employer does matching funds when we contribute to any charity up to $5,000 each year for each employee. So I'm always trying to let other people know that maybe they're not aware of that. Their employer does matching contributions as well. So anytime I make a contribution to CART, or I'm our insider challenge at our meetings, I also have Bank of America matches that as well. So again, it's just a way to get more contributions. So I guess Rod, is going back to what you started off with. Any extra dollar that we can find to raise for CART, the better for research.
Great. So John, yes, we touched on Facebook fundraising a few months ago as one of our fundraising ideas of the month. So if you guys did not see that, you can find it on our YouTube channel. Remember, there is a playlist of these monthly meetings, and every month there's a different fundraising idea of the month. I also wanted to share with you guys, for those who do not remember, that on our YouTube channel, there is a YouTube channel called the CART Fund that you can subscribe to. And if you will subscribe to it, it will remind you automatically. That is a horrible picture of both John and me. I'm so sorry. But this is an episode in boot camp that is all about SMASH Alzheimer's. So for those of you who would like to watch a little 10-minute video about how it works, this is John explaining it to us. So if you want to share this link with district or club folks to show them exactly how it works. There are several videos I can share that we've done online. My club did one and did a video of it. We put it on our club's channel. And what we did was we recorded the video of us smashing cans, stepping on them. And then at the end of the video, we said, all right, this was Four Seasons Rotary, but now we want to challenge Madison County, Silva, and Asheville Biltmore, or whatever it was. And we named 3 clubs that we challenged to match what we had raised. But all of that is in those videos. If you want more information, that's okay. We are going to help John reinvigorate this fundraising idea for those of you who are looking for something new and different to try in your club or in your community or in your district.
We assure you that we work very hard to make sure that 100% of what you give goes to research. We did a lot of work a year ago to make sure that it is an ongoing requirement for us. And so, yes, 100% of what is given today and in the future will go to research.
So, John, remind us, if for those of us who are social media savvy, do we use hashtag SMASH ALZ, or do we write out Alzheimer's?
Either one. I've been using both.
Okay.
Usually when I was doing any type of post about the SMASH Alzheimer's, I would put both hashtags. And thanks for bringing that up. I'd put that in my note to mention hashtag, and I forgot.
No problem.
I always use the website SMASH ALZ. It's just easier for people to remember. Again, it all goes to the same, it directs to the same website, but it just, for whatever reason, someone didn't know how to spell Alzheimer's. SMASH ALZ is a lot easier.
Great. Thank you so much, John. We look forward to seeing what creative things you guys can come up with to smash in the near future. That TV is probably still my favorite because, they don't even accept those at the thrift stores anymore. So you might as well do something fun with it, except for the fact that you might want to lay a tarp down because you do have to clean it up afterwards. And that becomes a little bit of an issue. I don't think you want to cut grass after smashing a television in your yard, but I look forward to seeing what interesting things that you guys can come up with. Thank you, John. We heard heard from Randy Nielsen today in Florida. Their golf tournament in December raised over $20,000. It was the first time that club had done that. So she's going to be doing a check presentation with them next week. Several of our DGEs responded to me last night and this morning that they apologized they would not be with us this week for our meeting. But as many of you know, they are all in Orlando at the International Assembly. For those who have not heard the new theme for this year, we will, as we are imagining this year what we can do with CART, next year we're going to create a lot of hope for a cure for this disease. And we will tie that in with with the Rotary theme as well. Just also a reminder about our district award that we have offered up for you guys, the Changemaker Award. Every district has the opportunity to present one of these per year. You may recall Suzanne Botts did the first one in 7710 back in December. This is a great time for you to be thinking about someone in your district that you would like to recognize, if your district will allow you to do that with some awards at the district conference, or if they do an award ceremony at the end of the year, or you can simply go to a club member's respective club and do it there as well. And I'm happy to share that template for that certificate with you again if you need it. Angus did bring up a very good point that he sent me a note to remind you also about the Roger Ackerman Circle. I believe as of this morning, we were up to 85 recurring donors. So I thank you for your continuance to continue to add to that list. My goal, it was an internal goal. I set it myself. I set the goal of 100 by the end of December. We got to 84 by the end of December, which, starting at 13 was not bad, but we did not hit 100. It's okay. We're not losing anything by that. It was just an internal goal. We will continue to reach for that. We will be getting with you guys about how to get the pins and that kind of thing. We're still working out those logistics. There's been a lot going on. I want to remind you of the upcoming meetings. Again, CART Conversations will be held again on February 7th, March 14th, and April the 11th. And also the dates for our annual meeting will be May 1 and 2. And in between there are lots of district conferences. There are 8 different pets that we're going to be participating in around our zone and a neighboring zone. So lots of information being shared. And we hope that you will continue to share your information with me so we can get it on the website and in our newsletter as well.